I would like to show you why I believe that PVC is an ideal material for increasing the technology of windows and of increasing sustainability. So first of all, I would like to point out what are the megatrends for our industry. Where do we see the biggest influences in our industry? So we heard about the urbanization so far today. I don't spend too much time on that. We got really dramatic figures that we heard. Another trend we did not talk about so far, it's the architectural trend of letting more natural light into the living rooms. This means more areas of glass, which has the advantage, especially in wintertime, that you get sun energy into the living room, but it has the disadvantage that in summertime you need cooling. And we see and we monitor increased cooling demands all over the world. This also means that we need more sun protection. And third, most important, we need more ventilation. I'm going to talk about this topic later on in more detail. There is an ongoing need for thermal building renovation. We heard about that today. If we are talking about that this needs to be increased and that there is still an enormous amount of buildings that need renovation, we monitored that in the last couple of years the renovation business decreased in Europe. So we need to find ways to increase this again. And unfortunately, what we see is a trend for the need of security in terms of burglary protection. And for me, the most important factor is a success for getting progress into sustainability is the affordability. And I don't say affordability of products. I'm not talking about cheap products. I'm talking about products for climate protection. Talking about window technology and climate protection, I would like to point out that the insulation becomes even more important. Even if you look at this globally, if you think of cities in Latin or South America, big cities, mega cities, you see that the energy demand for cooling becomes more and more, and the insulation of these buildings is very, very poor. So there is still a very big demand for that. In addition to that, if we are talking about window technology, we have to talk about more criteria that have to be met with technology. So one is design and architectural trends. The other is sustainability. The price obviously is very important. The cost-benefit ratio for the customer, so if you're talking about energy saving in terms of an investment, this needs to fit. And about additional features for the customer. So if we look at the interaction of these parameters, we will find out, and this is what I'm going to show you, that PVC is an ideal material to meet these different goals. And to explain this, I have to go a bit more in more detail of the window technology. First of all, is a technique that is very well known in the automotive industry, where you know that the front, the windshield and the back window of the car is glued to the chassis, and this helps enormous to get more, to get bit better physical values on the whole car, on the body. And this technique is also used in windows. What you can see here is 2 points here. You can put the insulated glass, you can glue it to the frame of the sash of the window, and this has a lot of advantages. One is obviously that the mechanical stability of the window increases. You can build smaller frames, so this helps in the stability of the window, and you will derive savings of material by doing so. You get increased thermal insulation, soundproofing increases, protection against burglary becomes better, and the tightness against wind and driving rain increases by doing so. Talked about the material savings due to smaller profiles. Another effect is that usually you use steel reinforcement for plastic windows to get the physical properties around the sash, and you can reduce this, so you need less of this metal reinforcement. A weak point of a window is the opening and closing and the metal parts used for that. And here is one answer to that. This is an alternative to do the locking. I don't know whether all of you are familiar with the way a window locks. Usually you have locking pins that go together with locking points on the frame on the outside, and you have a lot of metal parts. And here is a way how you can integrate this function into the frame. You see a metal part here. This is used, not a locking pin, it's a locking flap. This has, you see here in detail, this has the advantage that the locking area of this piece is larger. So you have better mechanical values and you have more resistance against opening. So you have better values or better resistance class as a standard for this kind of window. Another advantage of this is that you don't need the locking parts in the frame, so this is very nice to look at in the design. You have advantages in cleaning this profile, and again, this way to integrate this locking piece into the frame allows to save material. Again, it allows to save PVC material from the profile because the cross-section becomes smaller. So ventilation is very important. The best way would be just to open the window, and after you have vented, you can close it again, but this obviously will lead to energy loss in the house, especially in winter. So there is, what you can see here is a product where the ventilation is integrated into the frame of the window with a heat exchanger. And the heat exchanger allows to change the heat from the air blowing out from the room, changed to the vent coming in from the outside. And this has a very high efficiency rate, and the advantage is that it's really integrated in the window, and you can use this for renovation, for instance. So you don't need to install a central ventilation system. I hope you understand that PVC as a material of choice for windows enables innovation of window technology, as you saw in these examples, the integration of additional functionalities, affordability, recyclability, we talked about this a lot, and in this way increasing overall system sustainability. Okay, about the future challenges, we have heard a lot about recycling. I also believe that this deserves better political support. With the contradiction about urban mining, reach and recycling, we need to solve this point. Otherwise, we have a barrier in this industry we don't overcome. There is a need, I guess, for lobbying in subsidized housing, especially talking about this ventilation system, because this fits very much to the central ventilation systems nowadays. And we need, as I said at the beginning, incentives to further stimulate thermal renovation, including public funding.